Hey everybody, Kate here, coming at you with a floor-based, all on the floor stretch. You can call it yoga, but what it's going to be is a nice easy stretch on the floor. I'm feeling a little tight from a road race I did yesterday, so this is going to be perfect for me. You can do this anytime if you're, let's say you did a race the day before, like I did, or you can do this at the end of a workout. But the focus here is, I know some people don't love the like up, down, up yoga. Like, just keep me standing up for the stretch or take me on the floor and let me relax. And that's what the second one is. So without further ado, we're gonna roll back. Actually, one note. I'm going to talk throughout the practice, but be sure to listen to your body and do what feels right for you. There's so many different options, and you should always keep your body safe, listen to your joints, and use your breath, relax, and have fun. See what comes up. Rolling it back. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, roll back onto your back here. And then this is just kind of like just to ground your body for a second, see how it feels. If you have any like stiffness or tightness, just noticing what we've got here. If you want, you can take your hands out to the side just for a little grounding moment, couple grounding breaths. Let's do that right now. A few more. Just bringing ourselves into that moment of stretch. So first things first, with your lower back grounded, we're just gonna kind of move your knees side to side. We're not going into any like extreme windshield wipers with your knees falling to the right or left. If that feels right for you, go for it. And make sure your shoulders are rolled back. And if you'd like, we can now bring your hands behind your knees. Again, easy shoulders, easy on both sides. We're just going to take a little rock. Kind of, ooh, I got a little pop in my back. Kind of move your knees in circles. Make this intuitive. Move with your breath, relax. If you're holding on to your breath, that will make your muscles like tighten up a little bit, and that's not going to help you relax. So you won't get as much of a stretch as you'd like, especially if you're here wanting a stretch. Want you to have that. Okay, so rolling your shoulders back. We're gonna take you'll take your right leg out onto the floor, and we're just gonna kind of hold on to this left knee really gently. We're not like trying to grip it or anything. If you'd like, you can take your leg down. Not a lot of structure here, but do make sure that this right hip stays down. I feel a lot of opening in this hip flexor. This feels really nice. This grounding breath. Not too structured on that bottom foot, like crazy flex or anything. Sometimes that is important when we're stretching, but here it's just kind of nice and easy. So I'm going to take my hand onto my knee again, hold it up, and then I'm going to bring it out in front. Pause for a second. Now I'm a little bit more structured in this leg, so I can feel that stretch. And then bring this left leg over, nice and easy. We haven't been stretching too long, so this is more of like a preliminary twist. See how that feels for you. See where it wants to go. See, I'm nice and relaxed in my upper body. And bring it back. And out to the side. And then I'm going to bring that foot back onto the floor. Rest here for a second. Maybe there's a little stretch here. My right hip is tight, so it's going to feel everything. That's why I'm here on the floor doing my stretch. So now I'm going to switch. I'll take my right foot flat onto the floor, and I'll take my left leg out. Rest for a moment. I'll take that right leg up into my hand and bring it out to the side. Let that rest for a second. Check your shoulders. You can bring this arm out to the side. That might offer you a little bit of a left chest opener, just slightly. I like this grounding here. Helps me remind myself to keep this left hip down. Pick it up for a moment. Make sure here when you're grabbing, when you have one leg up and one leg down, that you're not hiking your hip up like this, that your hips stay nice and stable, and keeping that hand on your hip can actually really help with that too. Bring it out to the side, twist. Take your gaze wherever it feels natural. You can look out over to the right, left. Hold that one more moment. Make sure you're elongating through this right side of your torso. Again, you don't want to hike your hip up. And bring it back. Ooh, that's something. Bring your right leg down onto the floor again. Leg up. And then here again, we'll move those knees. You want to take this a little deeper, you could let your knees come over and rest for a second. It's a little bit too much for me right now, but feel free to explore that. See how it feels in your lower body. And I'm just gonna kind of let these knees move, and then for next move, we're gonna take hands up to the side, or you can use your arms to like help you facilitate this. But we're gonna let's start with your left leg. You're gonna bring it on top of your knee, and then you can keep your leg flat on the floor with this like figure 4 position. Do make sure here that you do have structure in this left foot. You don't want to just kind of like let your ankle like sickle or anything, because they do. Okay, so get that structure here. Whether you got shoes or no shoes, we'll hold here. You get a stretch in your hips, maybe onto that left glute. If you want a little bit more, you can bring those hips up, and you can bring your right leg up to the sky and hook your hands around your thigh here, or you can bend into this leg. But do make sure that, again, we want to make sure this left foot is structured, and we're kind of pushing our left knee away. We're not letting it come up toward our face. So I even like here to put my hands on my shin. It gives me a nice reminder. You just want to make sure you stay active in this right leg, whether it's high or low. And then I'll take this right leg down. And then here's a little bit more of a twist. I'm going to take your legs over to the side. See how this feels on your knee. If it's a little bit too intense, you can take the left leg off and go into more of that twist that we had before. And this is nice for your hip flexors. Our hamstrings get a lot of focus on stretching and our quads, but those hip flexors can really be tricky. Let's take your knees out over to the left and see how that feels. It doesn't have to come all the way down to the ground. Try to make this right hip stay down. But hip flexors can get really tight, especially if we're sitting a lot of the time, or if you're really active, you're like doing a lot of running and lunging and cycling, like spinning. Let's take this leg down. Give it a little shake, a little movement. I'm gonna take right leg on top of the left knee, flex into it and push it to the right. Push this right knee to the right, and then this right foot stays structured. Now again, I'm pushing this hip down, and that's to stay even. That's not to like be like too far this way. I guess this right hip on me likes to hike up, so easy in my shoulders. And then when I'm ready, I'm take this up. And ooh, that's tight. So either foot to the sky, holding on to your leg, or into that bent knee here. But I'm gonna bring it right on top of my thigh, give it a little adjustment, and then I'm gonna focus on pushing my knee away, holding on to this shin, but staying strong here in my left leg. And see where you can invite some space with your breath. You know, stretch is focused, and I'm feeling a lot of it here, but you might feel it out here in your glute, maybe up into your lower back. Because this can really take the brunt of tight hip flexors and tight hamstrings. And when your quads are tight, that will also bring everything kind of like forward, and so your hip flexors are tight too. You might even start to feel it up here in your torso. So it's important to make this time, give your body the stretch daily if you can, but you know, as needed is important too. All right. Feel tight in your body, don't ignore it. Moving knees side to side, and we're going to bring our arms up overhead. We're going to keep your knees where they are. And this offers an upper body stretch. You can really focus on the hips here. Nice, easy shoulders. You need to come a little wider, that's okay. Shoulder rolls. You're going to take your elbows up to the side and bring them down to like a broken T. You don't want your ribs to pop up too much, try to take them down. See how this feels. Let's bring them out to the T. And really, for 3 seconds here, we're going to really push your fingertips out to the side like you're reaching for the wall. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Bring it down. And then again, we're going to bring knees, so keeping your arms out like this T. Bring it out to the left and let it rest. Oh. So, did I say left? Other side. Got a little pop. So this time we are focusing on keeping our shoulder blades on the floor. If you'd like to take your gaze out to the opposite side, you can do that. See how it feels for you. See my right shoulder's popping up. Try to keep that down. One more time each side. And do stay connected to your core as you do these movements. Side. Either noticing how you feel here in your torso, like are you arching your back a little bit too much, try to bring that down. And that way you really get the stretch here, especially if you're super tight, like you're gonna get like dragged like this. All right, a little bit more circles, arms up, take rolls again. And then now we're gonna bring our arms down to the floor. We're gonna take a little bridge, okay? So now go our hips nice and mobile. We're gonna stretch up. So get your feet here under your knees, and then we're gonna shoulder blades together, squeeze into your arms, and come up and squeeze through your glutes, and then relax. See how that feels. If you have some time to hang out and you do have something to bring under your hips here, like a yoga block, maybe. I've also done it with a medicine ball in the gym. Bring it down. You can use that block or that ball and just rest on the ball of the block, and that will give you a nice gentle hip opener where it's not active. Your body can be totally relaxed, opening your hip flexors on that block. Let's do it again. And coming up, and this time really try to and focusing on that stretch here, not so much squeezing. And if you'd like, you can bring your hands together under your torso and bring your shoulder blades together. See how that feels. What we call like a front body opener. Play with your hands. We're getting our chest and across our shoulders. Try to stay nice and easy in the neck. You know, not craning like up or down, just keep it easy. And then also, of course, we're getting that stretch in our hip flexors. You can see I'm moving a little bit side to side. Feels good for me.
and bring it down. Again, another thing you could do if you felt comfortable in those kind of stretches, if you can give yourself a little bit, like I can rest like this. If that, see how that feels? Just be careful. Listen to your body. Okay. And a little bit more rocks. All right, and this time we're gonna come over to the right or left, whatever feels right for you, and we're gonna bring yourself onto your right arm, and we're gonna roll up, bring it up to a seat. And the first thing here, I'm gonna have you bring your feet together, and you're gonna keep your hands behind you and just lift your chest to the sky. So this is an alternative to like when you come forward and grabbing onto your feet, trying to push your knees down. So if you've got tight hips, this can be really tough for you to like really push your knees down and sit tall, and then of course like your knees like up here in your ears, and it's nice to have your hands back and then really just focus on keeping your feet together, and you can squeeze your shoulder blades together, keep your chest up nice and high. Instead of rounding into your back, and then get your knees a little bit wider, maybe more of a stretch. And then if you'd like, you can kind of move into that. Just feeling that stretch in my inner thigh. And then we're gonna keep your feet together and push them out as far as apart as they can go without those toes coming apart. Of course, I'm wearing shoes right now, so my toes aren't gonna go together. But this time you're gonna bring your hands up, and then you can grab onto your knees, or this time come forward a little bit more and lean into that, and you'll notice that this stretch is less of that inner thigh and more of that outer thigh, hip, lower back. So if it feels good for you, you come down. This feels good for me right here. It's with a lot of stretches, it's better to keep your torso engaged rather than rounding forward. And so when I say torso, I mean keeping your core engaged, keeping your shoulder blades back instead of like this can be good for some stretches, but a lot of times you lose that stretch in your hamstrings or your hips. And here's a good example. So now we're gonna bring your legs all the way out. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay. Roll those shoulder blades back, and then there's so many options here to just like coming forward and trying to touch your toes, right? And that's not even available for everybody. So why are we doing that, right? First thing I want you to do is roll your shoulders back and reach up to the sky. And hook onto your hands. And if you can, I'm gonna flip to my hands, but you can, keep them here. And I'm just gonna roll up over to the left and stretch into my right side. Nice and easy in my head here. You can also, if this feels weird on your fingertips, you can grab onto your wrist. I like this position. And then let's bring your left arm down and we'll stretch. Oh. And we're not leaning forward. I'm nice and high. I'm gonna move it for you. And take that right arm down, roll your shoulders back, and inhale. Hook onto your hands, this time up and over to the right. So we're stretching that left side. I'm staying structured here in my feet, so flex feet. You can see active legs, I'm just kind of willy-nilly because it's not going to give you the stretch up here in your upper body. Bring your right hand down and stretch over to the side. See how that feels? Stretch into my neck. You can look up if you'd like. You can keep your gaze where it is. You can look down, but do keep that side opening rather than going over here. And there's nothing wrong with coming this way. This feels good too. This is just a little bit different. Actually, let's just do that now. It's nice. Keep this down. We can take a little twist here. We did that on that side. Let's take your left arm down and we'll reach. So it's like as you're reaching to the corner of the room. That feels maybe round into your back there. Now take your hand onto your thigh. Left hand's gonna go behind and up, nice and tall. I recognize this from other poses where your legs here are like over your body and you're up like this. It's a little bit more accessible since we're really focusing on just twisting into the torso and keeping the legs engaged. Okay, so here we go into this hamstring stretch. So I'm about hip width apart here. My feet aren't necessarily together, but if find hip width is hip width for you. Take your hands behind. It can be fingertips, that feels okay, or you can come flat, but stay engaged. Shoulder blades back, inhale up. A little baby gentle back bend. Move it here, feels good. Okay, then we're coming up. And then again, this might just be where you are with nice active legs. Like I said, I noticed that for a lot of people, as soon as they start to like, I have to get to my toes, like you do not have to get to your toes. This is not the point of the stretch. The point is to feel a stretch in the back of your legs. So as soon as if you're coming down like this and then it's all in your back, then that's not what we're trying to do here. So I notice for a lot of people, if they just keep their hands here and sit up nice and tall, they feel plenty of stretch in their hamstrings. Maybe get some relief here in the outer part of your thigh and then into your lower back in a nice way, instead of like, if you feel okay that this is a regular part of your practice, I can my arms and legs are both short, so I can reach a little bit easier. Personally, I've always been able to touch my toes. That's not a brag, that's just everybody's body is different. You can tell a quick little story here. When I was in yoga teacher training, we learned a pose where you take your hands to the side and you lift your body up and your feet come up as well. And I learned from my yoga teacher, Hallie Love, much love to you, that everybody's body is a little bit different, and that's why that pose can be a little bit different for other people. So keep that in mind. So like if I had longer arms, like I had a student next to me that had little bit longer arms, and she was able to very easily bring herself up off the floor. Takes a lot of core strength, of course, but there are advantages, right? We're all different shapes and sizes. So keep that in mind if you're in your yoga class and somebody's doing a pose next to you that looks a bit different. Maybe they've been doing it longer, but maybe their body's just different. Maybe they're open in some places, not in others. Quick little story. Okay, so that said, again, here in your hamstring stretch, and then, or you can come forward, you can grab, if you're somewhere in between, you can grab a strap, or even like a resistance band, a towel, a tie that you don't care about, a belt is perfect. But yeah, this can be, this feels really good for me today. And if I would keep breathing, I would notice that I would feel more relaxed and more mobile and more open to come down a little bit more. Everybody's body is different, sure, but like our bodies are also different on different days. What did you do yesterday versus like 3 days ago? So maybe not the same thing. Okay. And when you're ready and feeling good, I'm bringing on up nice and easy. This time we are going to take that foot either over, or you can keep it right here. We're going to keep a little twist, but this left leg is going to stay nice and active. Left leg on top of that right leg and up nice and tall for a twist. It's good for me. And switch, so left leg on top. And take that twist, so hand behind, up nice and tall, and flex into that right leg, very important. And move into the twist. There as long as you'd like. I'm gonna keep this left leg. You can either put it on top of your thigh if you're a little bit more mobile, or bring it inside. We're gonna stay up nice and tall and lean forward toward, like think chest towards your toe rather than rounding forward. You can use your hands a little bit to pull you in. Just keep those shoulders nice and easy. You can take this hand here if you'd like. Breathing. I'm gonna stretch down my QL here. Nice up nice and tall. And then switch sides, so left leg out, right leg coming in to the inside of your thigh or on top of your foot. So you can even see like part of it just hang out here. Eventually there it goes, like we're just kind of not being structured. All right, on the inside, sit nice and tall, and our intention is toward that leg. So coming forward, it's nothing manic here. There's no goal really. It's what makes your body feel good. Where are you at today? And how can you make yourself feel awesome? How can you make yourself feel a little bit more free
You know, you get less like stuck energy and tension in your body. When we get into these poses and stretches, we invite more movement. All right, so for this last one, we're gonna maybe the last one. Bring your feet nice and wide. And for this, like, so this is the same kind of concept as what we talked about before. That you can bring your hands behind you this way. So you can see me a little bit better. So this might be your stretch right here. Keep your hands right behind your hips. If you'd like to keep your hands onto your legs, this might be your stretch. But you know, if you are somebody that wants to like fold forward, do it with integrity. Okay, you don't just like throw yourself in. You want to take your time. Take it up top here. Take your time, take some rest, and do make sure that these toes stay active. You don't want it to fall forward. Okay, you don't want one leg to do something. Be mindful of what they're doing here. So this for me is perfect today. Maybe my hamstrings would feel like I'm not in his eyes. Get it, girl, move forward. But you know, if I'm tight here, I'm honoring my body and being where I am. And there's no ego here. There's no like, I'm a yoga teacher. I should put my face on the floor. That's not really yoga. So okay. Again, I know I said this stretch was not yoga, but come on, guys, it is. Move forward, and I am saying like pushing this leg into the floor. That's giving me a little bit more of a stretch. You can take your arms out here if you'd like. With your chest forward. Make sure your shoulders stay back. And again, look longer. I'm saying here, you know, pushing my feet out feels a little bit different. I can move down, move shoulders here. You know, it doesn't have to be like a strict hold. Listen to your body. All right, now come back up, nice and easy. Maybe shake out your legs a little bit. You know, if you need to bring them in and just, you know, because you might be here and that's fine, right? Just make sure that says you get that structure and that you go, right? Okay, so wherever you are, this time we're going to lean over to the side. So you can take that hand down. Yeah. Take this hand down and look up, reach up. I'm gonna reach over, like that left hand is gonna reach your big toe. Maybe it does reach the big toe, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it comes down onto your shin. Feels so good. And on the other side, so take the left arm out and reach up. Over to the left side. And this might be it. That's fine. Totally fine. If you want to keep going, reach a little bit more. Remember, get your strap. You got it. Bring it onto the knee. And this is where now, like, we're like kind of like at the end, and it's like, oh man, I did this. I took the time. I feel better. I feel more open. I feel more calm. Feel more relaxed. I feel good. Stretching makes us feel good. Open up here. And bring it down. And we're gonna shake it out a little bit. Any last poses that feel or stretches that feel right for you, you know, take a second. You can bring yourself into like the little cat and cow action, stretch into your shoulders. If maybe you come up off your mat and do a couple more stretches, like standing up. Maybe you do some actual yoga flows. Maybe you're going to bed. Do what's right for you. Right. For now, I'm going to take a little time to close this out. Sitting in a cross-legged position, you can sit however you want. You can be lying on the floor. Just take a moment here. Gratitude for taking the time to ourselves. And just be proud that we showed up. That we did something for our minds and bodies, for our energy and mood. It means a lot. It means a lot for ourselves and the people that we interact with throughout the day. Breath. Easy shoulders. Rise. stay here and meditate if you'd like, but I want to say thank you for joining me. I know I said it wasn't yoga, but again, wink, wink. So I'm gonna say namaste to you all, which means the light in me sees the light in you. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste. See you later.